Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. Oh, I just love that theme song. It's so jazzy. It just gets me going in the beginning of these shows here. And welcome to another episode of The Doctors Are In. And we are on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. My name is Dax Carlisle. I'm a tarot advisor and life coach, and I'm coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. Joining me, as always, is my fabulous co-host. She's a spiritual teacher and a certified life coach herself, Dr. Rose Wilkerson, coming to us live from Berkeley, California. Hey, Rose, how is it in California?
Hey, it's pretty good. I'm here in the Bay Area. It's a little on the cloudy side, and the temperature, I think, is, I have to finish about 58 degrees. So we're kind of enjoying a cool bit of summer. You know, we had a one or two hot days. Was it last week or the week before? And it was just, I was like, oh my God, this is a terrible start to the summer. But it's cooled off, so we're happy about that. We're happy for the cool air from the ocean, from the Pacific. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I miss
understand
it.
it's a little bit different in Arizona.
It's a dry heat. 100 degrees
Yeah.
already out there. So I'm in the office. I'm not out on the patio like I normally am because I would melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. You know, I'm melting. Oh, gosh. So this is the last show of the month. We always do There's a Mantra for that segment. And Rose is going to be doing that and giving you the mantra of the month, and can't wait for that. We are a live call-in show, though, too. You can call into the show and chat with us, 714-816-4628. We'd love to chat with you. You can ask questions about anything that we, cover here on Psychic Talk, psychic development, and tarot and numerology, mantras, of course, hypnosis, life coaching, neurolinguistics, NLP, EFT, energy healing. I mean, we pretty much have it all covered here between Dr. Rose and I. So give us a ring, 714-816-4628. Of course, you can call in for a mini reading and some life coaching live on air as well. As soon as you get through, remember to press 1 on your dial pad. If you're Skyping in, open the app, open the dial pad, press 1. That puts you up in the caller queue, and it puts you in the order that you called in. And we take the calls in that order, how they came in there. First come, first serve. And, don't hang up because you'll get pushed to the bottom of the list there. So give us a ring. And if you can't do that, I don't know, it's Friday. Maybe some folks, Rose, are listening in work, and there's the boss staring over, and they can't really call in and chat with us.
Right.
But you could join us in the chat room. We have a new chat room, and it actually appears on every show post for every episode of every show on the Psychic Talk Network, on our website, psychictalk.net. And so you'll see all the promotions on Facebook and Twitter all over the place on social media. And when you go to that information page, it has a player where you can listen to the show live, and that's new as well. We're installing a player for each episode on each page, and then below that is the chat room. It takes a couple seconds for it to load, so be patient while it loads up there. The player will have this flashing neon on the player saying upcoming episode up to the point where we're live. And then when we're live, it'll start flashing live now. And that's when you click the play arrow. Now, if it's not saying live now and you know it's the top of the hour, go ahead and refresh the page. I've had to do that a couple times when I was testing it out, Rose. You refresh the page and make sure the player says live now, and you click the arrow. It takes, I counted, it took 8 seconds. So give it 8 to 10 seconds for the player to load and start playing, and then jump in the chat room below. And, of course, you can comment on the show, talk to other listeners. I love our new chat room. It's great. It's a very simple chat room. It's not complicated. You can join via your Twitter account, your Facebook account. You can also just type in your name as well and just start typing. Yeah. And you can request a mini reading in there, some life coaching, type in, what's going on and what you want us to take a look at. So that's another way that you can get a free mini reading. And, if you can't call in, but of course it's so much more fun chatting with you live on air. So let me give out that number one last time here, 714-816-4628. Press 1 on your dial pad as soon as you get through. I did want to mention that today's show is sponsored by the Tarot Guild, as always. The International Organization for Tarot Lovers, Students, and Professionals since 2004. Come over and visit us on the web, thetarotguild.com. And there's getting close to like 400 people on there. We have thousands and thousands of members of the guild all around the globe. In fact, there's 6,300 plus members on our Facebook group. But this social networking website, we built it only a couple of years ago, and it's been kind of slow going, Rose, getting folks to realize that we have this new platform and that they can come over and join the website. You can join free as an associate member. You just go to the website. At the top of any page, you'll see sign in, sign up. Just click sign up, and you can use your Google account, Twitter, Facebook, or your email address and a password, to sign up free on the website. We got everything on there, forums and groups, and there's direct messaging to other members. There's a live chat room. There's an activity feed. It's virtually identical to like the big social media websites like Facebook. I call it Facebook for tarot. It's like Facebook, but it doesn't have all the negative stuff, and it's tarot all the time. Yep. So it's been kind of slow getting people to realize and to come over and join. We're having people join the Tarot Guild Facebook group in droves. But to get them over to the website, so if you're listening now, go over to thetarotguild.com and join the website. There has been an uptick the last few months in people joining the website, and also folks becoming professional members of the guild, getting their certified tarot reader, their CTR certification through us, and so forth. So, it is on its way up, but, whenever you rebuild or your website or, create a new website, it takes a while. We had the same website for like 10 years. And the old servers finally crapped out. Yeah, it finally died, and we had to rebuild the website on new servers. And I was like, well, if we're going to rebuild it anyway, we had a static website for 8 of those 10 years, and just basically a billboard on the web. Hey, we're the Tarot Guild. But I wanted something where people could really get involved, and if they, if they're not into Facebook, or social media, they could, it's a nice, safe place to be on the tarotguild.com. So we built a full-fledged social networking, social media website, so it's actually a social networking platform, not just a plain website there. So I'm hoping more and more people will come onto the website there and join us. I did want to mention, new features for the radio shows, and Rose and I have a big announcement as well. And so while we're waiting for folks to call in, and before we get into there's a mantra for that, I thought we'd cover a little bit of this, Rose. One thing I want to mention is summer officially started, Father's Day on the 20th there. I just had my birthday on the 16th. And, when my birthday rolls around, and thank you. When my birthday rolls around, Rose, and Father's Day, that's my reminder, my cue that you're halfway through the year already.
I know. I have a birthday in July, so I totally understand now. I'm like, oh, my God, how much time has passed?
Same thing. Yeah, very, very similar, and, it's like it gives me pause every time my birthday hits, because then I'm like, oh, wow, already? And then I think, okay, wait, what was my goals for 2021? Have I actually accomplished anything? I better get going. So some of this stuff I'm going to work on this summer. And in fact, Rose here is actually taking on, more work than usual teaching. And so she needed to take July off anyway. And I was like, well, yeah, let's just take July off, and at least July, if not more. And, we can get some of our goals accomplished now that we're halfway through the year. And we can also revamp things. We can, rethink the doctors are in. Yeah. What do you want to say about that, Rose? Anything?
Yeah, I think, this has been like a really wonderful show and all. How can I put it? We went through the whole pandemic, and we kept things moving, and we need a break. We need to be like,
we're still here.
We're like, oh, okay, we need to. It was almost like we were just running. You know what I mean? Not that we were physically running, but there's a lot of preparation that goes into these shows and outside conversations about, lining up and hosts or interviewers. It takes a bit. But what we want to do also is how can we reach a wider audience? That's one of the things that we want to do. And we're thinking about, adding video. We would love to get your input, by the way. I'm not sure how they could contact us, actually, maybe just in the Psychic Talk Radio Facebook group. But we'd love to get your input on some of the things that we can do. We are talking about doing video. We may do a live video on our YouTube channel or in the Facebook group. We would like to reach more people and to help more people out there. And that's the thing. That's a conversation that we're going to have. I do have a couple of ideas. I'm not going to discuss it yet. I'll discuss it with Dax, after the show about things that we can do. And that's it. That's pretty much what we're going for. And again, we would love to hear, some of the things. Some of you guys, listen to podcasts, different podcasts all over, and if you have and things of that nature, we're always open and willing to hear you out. We might even ask some questions in our Facebook group, the Psychic Talk Radio, and to see if you guys are members there. Be sure to look out for a message or some messages, because we're always looking
That's a great idea.
And looking to grow. Yeah, looking to grow the channel, and we really do want to reach more people and things of that nature. So just look out for our announcements, and if you see a post where we're asking a question, please feel free to provide some input, to provide your knowledge, or if you have ideas. Again, that's a wonderful way, because we like to hear from you, because what we do is we are in service to you. We bring kind of like the alternative things, like medical doctors or psychologists or things of that nature. We bring more the spiritual, intuitive side to things and try to help, and life coaching in general, and just try to help be of service there. So if there are other things other topics or, other ideas that you guys have or something like, well, I wish the Doctors Are In show would do this, please feel free to let us know. You are our audience, and we are here to be of service to you guys. So, and that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah, and I just put that actually in our chat room. And by the way, I forgot to mention that if you don't remember the URL to get to this particular episode, all you got to do is go to psychictalk.net/live. That's psychictalk.net/live. That'll take you right over to this post. Scroll down, you'll see the player, you'll see the chat room. And I put in my page, the link to my page on the Tarot Guild website, because all my contact information's on there. Email, you can message me directly from the Tarot Guild website. You have to sign up for free in order to message, but those messages come right up on my phone. I get them the fastest. And Facebook, you can message me from Facebook, and all of that is on my page at dax.thetarotguild.com. So just open a new tab in your browser, type in my name, DAX, dax.thetarotguild.com. That'll take you right over to my page. Yes. And so you can leave messages there, and I'll share it with Rose. You can go to psychictalk.net/DrRose for Dr. Rose and contact her through there. Your contact information's on there, Rose. And, of course, you can find us on our Facebook groups. Yeah, just go to the Facebook groups, and you'll see my posts and posts from Rose and so forth. And you just click on our image there, and you can go over to our profile and send us a message. Let us know what you'd like to see, what format you'd like to see the Doctors Are In kind of morph into. And
I wanted to add something really quickly. I have two Facebook profiles. One is under Dr. Rose. The other one is Shakti Devi, which is my spiritual name. So sometimes you might see a Shakti Devi answering one of our posts.
Who's that?
Or whatnot. That's me. I don't know why I created both of them, but that's just the way of it. One, I was trying to be more professional. The other one is just more people who know me, and I bounce around whether or not I call myself Shakti or Rose or whatever. So if you see Shakti Devi and you see this black and white picture of a cute woman with these beautiful locks, that would be me. And then you can just also message me. I get messages. My messenger, is open. So people can contact me, and make sure that you state who you are and what you want to talk about. Because if you just say hi, I'll just ignore it. I might think you're some guy who wants to pick me up or something like that. I get those every once in a while. But if you say, hi, I love your show, ask your question or provide your comment, then I'll know, oh, okay, this is the person I need to answer. So, yeah, you'll get an answer within 24 hours for sure, and usually within a couple of hours, typically. Yeah.
Yeah, and multiple heads are better than just the two of us. So I'm sure you guys have some great ideas. Book is slowly but finally rolling out an audio format on Facebook, and it's gonna first be available only to certain public figures, influencers, and certain groups on Facebook, and allowing them to try it out. They're going to work the bugs out, and then it'll become more available to the rest of us. And you're going to be able to do, public audio, kind of like the events on Facebook, only it's going to be an audio format. You know, you have the video lives, but the audio format is more similar to our radio shows. And if that becomes available, you know, maybe we'll do some of those as well as video lives. We're looking at, you know, different platforms that will allow us to have multiple hosts on. One thing that I really like about the audio one is they're designing it, Rose, from what I read, from the get-go, where you can bring on up to 50 other participants and unlimited listeners. So in other words, I can start one of these audio lives program. I don't even know what they're calling it. You know, there's also a podcast thing attached to it as well, from what I read. And you can start, and then you can authorize other Facebook people to, you know, join you on the live audio cast. And that was one of the biggest problems with Facebook Lives is, except for, I think, you know, I might be wrong, but I think that if you were doing it through iPhone, you were able to bring on another user and have you both on at the same time. I don't think that functionality is available everywhere. I think it was only iPhone. I don't know if they ever got it onto you know, the Android app or the desktop version of Facebook. But that was one of the biggest problems. You always had to get a third-party platform solution in order to do, say, a Facebook Live with you and other people at different locations with different cameras. You know, it was okay if you lived in the same, you know, if you live in the same city as your co-host, you know, you just all get together and you have your microphones and you do a setup and it's, you know, one feed. But we're all over the place. New York City, right. Berkeley, California, Amarillo, Texas. You know, Chicago. We need that kind of functionality. So we're looking at platforms that allow you to do it on Facebook as well as YouTube Lives as well, in order to do this functionality where you can have multiple folks on camera. But the audio version, this audio thing that, I don't know, Rose, from what I was reading, it sounds like it's going to be months, if a year or two, before we could even use it if we wanted to, the platform, because it's coming out just for who they pick and decide to test it out and use it. Groups and individuals, public figures. It said public figures, you know, so it's going to be movie stars. It's going to be social media influencers are going to get it first. But what I like about it is that, you know, it has that functionality where you can bring on other users, so we could have multiple hosts in multiple cities on this platform at the same time. But I think it's almost a little too late. You know, Facebook is way behind the curve. You know, they have Clubhouse and Twitter has its audio platform that's been, you know, going for a while. So Facebook is really behind the curve. I think as far as us and our program, you'll see us moving into video and, you know, YouTube and Facebook Lives versus the audio platform. I wish it was available right now because we could give it a test whirl and see, because as you were saying, Rose, the idea is to reach and help more people. And something like that, especially, you know, when Facebook or YouTube or any other platform comes out with a new feature, they tweak the algorithms to favor folks that are using that feature and get it out to other people to come and listen and so forth like that. It would be great, but, you know, God knows when it's going to be available. So we'll talk about, you know, we'll talk about it over the the summer. As you folks probably already know, Catherine Hahn changed the name of her radio show, and it's now Spiritual Guidance Radio, which, by the way, I love much better. And logistically, with, all her kids and everything she does, she needed to change days. And she was looking at a weekend, type day. Of course, we already had a show on Saturday. I did suggest the 2 Sundays a month that Sharona doesn't have her show. Her show's every other Sunday. But then I, let her know that we were going to be taking this break, and if she wanted to move into Fridays, she could, and so she did. She's been on Fridays the last couple of weeks, and in fact, tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, Spiritual Guidance Radio with Catherine Hahn will be on. So you get 2 shows today. But we're going to be taking a break in at least July and, see what we can come up with and revamp. And if we're doing live shows, it'll probably most likely be on a different of the week, unless we end up going into video, because if we go into video, we can program Catherine's show on Friday and still do our show. There's a workaround that I'm using to do it, but it's very technical, and it requires, downloading the audio and removing this show and then adding the next show and then re-uploading oh my God, I only had to do it 3 Fridays this month, the last 2 Fridays and today, and then I won't have to do it anymore. Thank God. I can just program Catherine's show on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yes. Yeah. But if we're doing video on a different platform, Facebook, YouTube, we can, it'll be on a different system. So we can easily pre-schedule that, and then we can take the audio from the video, strip it out, and put it on Blog Talk as a show. And it's actually a lot easier, Rose, to download the video and strip out the audio than it is going the other direction. For years now, we've been taking the audio from our radio shows, adding in the visual of our individual show banners for each episode, turning it into a video, and then uploading it to YouTube. And it takes a lot longer, and it's a lot more work.
Right.
It almost takes the length of the show. Let's say you have an hour show or an hour and 20 minutes. It takes almost that amount of time to render the video before it's ready to upload to YouTube. Whereas if you just download the video and it takes 2 seconds, and then you strip out the audio, which takes 5 seconds, and then you upload it to Blog Talk, it's a lot easier going that direction than the other way. So we'll figure this out over the summer, but you can look forward to over our break, yeah. But you can look forward to Spiritual Guidance Radio on Fridays. I'll be on Tarot Today Radio at least 3 of the Saturdays with Mary Brown, and Sharona will be on every other Sunday with Magic Universe, and then of course Wisdom of the Soul with Janice Fuchs on Mondays, and that's what it's going to be like going through the summer. And let's see. How's the switchboard doing? Okay, we're still waiting for folks to call in. Let me give out the phone number again, 714-816-4628. That's 714-816-4628. In fact, it's the bottom of the hour, so let me go ahead right now and let everyone know what's coming up on the network, Rose. Of course,
Sounds
you
good.
can you can always go to our website, psychictalk.net, and at the top of any page, just click Upcoming, That'll take you to the upcoming shows. Now, of course, if you're on a handheld device, a phone, you get those, 3 lines. Click the 3 lines and then click upcoming. But if you're on desktop, I'm more used to being on desktop. It'll say home, live, upcoming, archive, so you can listen to, close to 800 shows in archive. And in the upcoming shows, you just click upcoming. And our website is psychictalk.net. If you want the direct URL, it's psychictalk.net/upcoming. Yes, we're trying to make this easy for you folks. Yeah, but if you don't remember that, just go over to the website, psychictalk.net, click upcoming, and I've got the shows listed all the way through to August 8th. That's right. You can see all the shows coming up all the way into August, so the rest of June, all of July. As I mentioned, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, Catherine Hahn. If you're not familiar with Catherine, she's actually an angelic channel and energy healer. So her shows are a little bit different. And I love how she does an on-air meditation, and she does free on-air guidance during her shows as well. That's why it's called Spiritual Guidance Radio. Yeah. And she's got a topic tonight, Rose. She's going to be talking about the importance of self-care.
Nice.
Yeah. So tomorrow, Saturday, June 26th, I'll be back on with Mary Brown, our Tarot Today radio show, and we're going to be asking you, what do you want to know from the universe? That's right. It's our monthly Psychic Spin episode where we'll pull tarot cards on anything you want for 25 cents. No, but 5 cents. Okay, yeah. But no, seriously, Psychic Spin is something we created years and eons ago on the network, and it's where we look at current events, things in the news, things on everybody's mind, things that have happened, things that are going to happen, but generally big things that everybody's thinking about, or some of the big concepts too, like is the law of attraction real? Does the divine exist? What's the meaning of life? I mean, the big questions. So, we take phone calls. We have open lines during our Psychic Spin shows. You can call in and ask questions about, your personal life and love, life, career, relationships, and so forth. But if you have a burning big question, something about tarot, something about numerology you've always wanted to know, something that's in the news, something that's going on. Maybe you want to ask about that Delta variant of the COVID virus that's going to hit the U.S. Maybe you want to ask, do UFOs really exist? Yeah, we do some tongue-in-cheek things too. Like we did one at the end of 2020 in December. What about Santa and his elves? So yeah, we've done almost everything. But if there's a burning question out there, let us know ahead of time. Contact myself or Mary, and we'll ask it live on air and pull cards on it during the Psychic Spin segment. What do you want to know from the universe? And then Sunday, June 27th. Boy, this is a busy weekend for me because I'm on air yet again, Dr. Rose, because I am the featured special guest. Yes, I am the featured special guest on Magic Universe with Sharona Rapsy. This is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Sharona contacted me. She said, I want to talk about tarot magic on the Magic Universe show.
Wow. Oh.
And yeah.
That's
so we're going to be we're going to be talking about other ways to use the tarot deck besides divination, predicting the future. How about using tarot as a tool to create your future? We're going to be talking about such things as the Tarot Cross of Manifestation that I created like 20 years ago or something like that now. I can't remember how far long back it was. that I came up with that, but we're going to go through the story of, how I came up with that, and we're going to go through the cross of manifestation, the 4 steps. It's basically the 4 steps of the law of attraction, but it's using tarot as a tool to create your future. And because my favorite saying, let me see if I can bring this up real quick. I did a post on the Tarot Guild site. If you go over to thetarotguild.com, under articles, look for the Tarot Cross of Manifestation. It'll have a link to that show on Sunday that I'm talking about, and it'll explain. Actually, I go into the story of this here, and on the there's actually an image where you can see the cross of manifestation, and you can use this as a visual aid during the show on Sunday. And on that image, I put, "There's no need to predict the future when you can create it." It's one of my favorite quotes by that amazing person. Who is it? Oh, wait, no, that was me. Yeah, I came up with that one. Never mind. Okay, yeah. There's no need to predict the future when you can create it, folks. Yeah, so go over under articles, thetarotguild.com, and you can check that out. Yes, and then, of course, Monday, this coming Monday, Wisdom of the Soul with host Janice Fuchs, licensed clinical social worker. That's right, she's a licensed therapist, folks, and comes up with fantastic things talking about connecting with the soul. And then Friday, July 2nd, we won't be here. Ding, 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 ding. But Catherine will be here. That's right. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, Spiritual Guidance Radio. She'll be back on the air giving free on-air guidance Friday, July 2nd. And then I'm actually going to be off Saturdays after this Saturday for 2 weeks because it's Mary's first Saturday of the month. There's a rock for that episode. And she's going to be talking about, actually, I didn't put it on the upcoming shows list here, what she's talking about. This is not good. I gotta scroll back on here because she told me what it was, and I cannot remember her crystal guest of the month here. I'm looking forward for it real quick here, see if I can bring this up. But she's going to be doing free crystal mini readings. So the readings are a little different on There's a Rock for That, the first Saturday of the month. This is going to be, by the way, July 3rd, right before Independence Day there on Sunday. Her topic actually is going to be miracles. Look at that. Miracles. Ooh. And her featured crystal, her crystal guest of the month is turquoise. Ooh. I gotta get. It's coming up rapidly. I got to get to work on her show banner and everything. I haven't done that yet. Oh gosh. Oh, so those are. Yeah, so that's all the shows coming up over the next week. But if you want to see everything, just go to psychictalk.net, click upcoming. There's some great guests coming on. I know Dr. Lisa Barry, personal coach, is going to be on Sharona's show in July. And, Mary Brown's actually going to be Sharona's special guest on a show in July as well. They're going to be talking about raising your vibrations with crystals. Oh, my gosh, there's a lot of great stuff coming up. Ooh, so go check that. Go check that out.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that myself, actually. But raising the energy, with crystals. I bought some, but they're so small. I thought they were like it's almost like an obelisk shape, clear quartz crystal. And I thought, this is going to be great. I can have 4 big ones around my room. These things are about the size of my finger, my index finger. And I thought, that's not what I wanted. I didn't read it carefully, but I can use the smaller ones too. But anyway, talk about the topic for the show.
And I got a couple more things. I'm sorry, you were breaking up a lot on my end. I don't know if the listeners heard that, but on my end, I couldn't really understand the last sentence or two there, Dr. Rose. But before we get to the topic real quick, I did have a couple more features to mention. I wanted to get all this out of the way. We have so many new things going on. You know, I mentioned the new chat room and player on the pages. We also have a new feature, the tip jar. The tip jar was actually Sharona that came up with this. She said all the hosts should have a tip jar on the show page, where folks are, listening to the show and chatting in the chat room. So I have a picture of the tip jar. You'll find it below the player and above the chat room. The chat room's demarcated by this blue strip. You'll see my picture, and it says Psychic Talk. The chat room's below that, and then you'll see the player above, and you'll see this tip jar. And if you click on the tip jar, you can go over and you can give your host a tip. That's right. Oh. I thought that was a brilliant idea. We used to do something similar years back where folks could do a tip and get what do we call it? Primary. I can't remember the word we used. But basically when you called into the show, we bumped you up to the top of the list, even if you were like at the bottom of the caller list. The people that tipped got in first, kind of like on YouTube where they have that built into YouTube Lives where you can, make a donation, $10, $15, $20, and then the people doing the lives will take your questions first out of the chat room. And so we had something like that years and years and years ago, and we for some reason we got away from doing it. But when Sharona said that, it was interesting because I was already thinking along similar lines, and then she said, hosts should have tip jar. I was like, oh my God, synchronicity, So now we've got that on there. You can send in, if you're listening to the shows and you're getting something out of it, you're really enjoying the topics and the hosts, you really like the show, you can send in, $10, $15, $20, and, basically buy us a cup of coffee, And maybe you got in on the phone lines and we did a tarot mini reading for you and you got a lot out of it. Again, there you go. We actually had this it was about a month ago on our Tarot Today radio show. A gentleman called in and we gave him a reading, Mary and I, and he contacted us in the chat room and said, hey, I want to send you guys some money. And I ended up just sending him, because I didn't have this set up, so I just sent him over to the Tarot Guild website because there's actually a donate button. And he went over there and donated $20. He donated $20, and then I just sent, 10 of it to Mary. We split it. And so this will make it a lot easier. You can click that. And by the way, if you do want to be the first caller, if you tip $10 or more, we're going to bump you to the top of the list. Just in the chat room, say, hey, I just sent in a tip. Here's my area code. Guess what? We'll stop whatever we're doing, and we'll bring you on right then and there. That's right. Send in $10, $20, and we're going to put you right on air. But I just think that's a really cool feature and a nice idea from Sharona. And I'm glad that I was able to get it all set up for this show and tomorrow's show and Sharona's next show. So, Sharona, if you're listening out there, and I know she is because she's in the chat room, you have a tip jar. this Sunday, and let everybody know about it. So one last thing I want to mention, because we've been talking about, summer and taking this break and the heat and everything. And we have our annual Sizzling Summer Sale going on at the Tarot Guild. And we do this every summer because summer things kind of slow down. So we do some whiz-bang, really wonderful discounts. Everything is 30 up to 33% off. Some things are 30% off. It's amazing. You got to go check it out. Open a new tab in your browser, type in summer.thetarotguild.com, or just go over to thetarotguild.com, and right there on the main page, you're going to see the big blue Sizzling Summer Sale banner. And basically, you can enroll in my course for $67. You can get your professional membership and your tarot reader certification in a package for $67. Private readings are $67. 2 numerology reports, $67. Yeah, you get the theme here, folks. But it's big discounts, because my course is normally $99.99, and you can enroll for $67. And the professional membership, along with the tarot certification, which is already discounted for professional members, it's only $47 instead of $78. Those two together, if you buy them separately, are normally $94. It would be together. So it's only $67. Yeah. So go over to thetarotguild.com. Right there on the main page, look for the big sizzling summer sale banner with the palm trees and everything and the beach. And there's a big red click here button. Just click that. It'll take you right over there. And you can check out all the great specials. We also have a package that includes my course and your certification and professional membership. And my readings are normally $97, and they're $67 right now. So maybe you have questions about your tarot business and need some guidance on that, some coaching, or maybe you have life questions, love, life, career, relationships. You could book a private reading and coaching session with me right there. So go check that out. All righty. I'm going to give out the phone number again, 714-816-4628. So, Dr. Rose, what do you have planned for us for, there's a mantra for that, and the mantra of the month. I've been looking forward to this.
I'm sorry. I had to unmute myself. And just as I was about to unmute myself, went into a coughing bout. So, excuse me. Hold on for a second, folks. Let me just do a little cough. All right, I am back. So today, I decided to, because we're going to take a bit of a break, I decided to focus on about four mantras that focus on 4 main areas of life that most have issues with on some level. And then there's another mantra that really is more about removing obstacles, negativity, and opening the doors to opportunity. So I'm going to focus on that for this time. And the first mantra, you might hear some. Hopefully, you won't hear voices. We have people talking in my backyard. So the first mantra, and you guys have heard me talk about some of these mantras before, actually. But one of them is the gum mantra. And I'm giving you the short one. The research that's taken to you'll be able to, if you want to do longer ones, you're more than welcome to do that. I also have where it's a chant, what we call a mantra. Some of them have music to them. Some of them is just chanting, as well as a link to a what is it? This has been being offered by the Polai Center, which is a spiritual company that I work for, And many of the mantra loops that they have are connected to certain deities, Hindu deities in particular. I'll provide that link for in our chat on it's Psychic Talk, psychictalk.net for our show. So I'll do that as I go along. So the first mantra, God removes obstacles, and it removes any kind of negative karma that you have. Many of the ceremonies in the Hindu ceremonies, especially like fire ceremonies or chanting sessions, they always start off with gum, because gum is kind of like breaking open, removing any kind of obstacles that make the way spiritually and physically. And it opens the doors to opportunity, right? In many traditions, I've been finding that sometimes they'll have an archetype, a divine being of some sort, of god or goddess, that opens the door, that serves as a way for human beings to have a better contact with divine beings. Gum is associated with the elephant-headed god by the name of Ganesha. And if you think about adult elephant, that is, how an elephant is, and they can come through and move, take that trunk and swing it this way, and, objects will go flying and stuff like that. Elephants don't have many obstacles. In fact, I saw a video one time where there was an elephant that crossed a country border, between two countries. And it was really interesting because they said, and the people allow this to happen. They're animals. They're not going to, think about human borders or things of that nature. They don't care. Okay, we're going from one country to the other. Elephants don't think about those kinds of things, right? They're just going wherever they need to go to take care of their business, find food or the rest of the herd or whatever, and then come back. And you saw that there was guy that was standing out there, and this elephant just came along, and the guy just moved out of the way. Elephant went right through that, did whatever he had to do in about maybe 30 minutes. He came right through, So, and I use that as an analogy for how Ganesha, the god, if you're into the god, or just the gum mantra, is the one that removes obstacles. Oftentimes where we have a border, like a political border between two countries, right? The elephant doesn't even think about that. It's like, no, this is crazy. They just walk right on through. So that's a good analogy for the gum mantra, okay? Always begin your chanting sessions with gum. This is what you do. Sometimes we come to the meditation session or just know that peace, and gum can really help you to remove all of that and bring you to, help you to center yourself and into a space of peace. I've actually had that happen in my life one time where my father ended up having to go to the hospital, and I was really nervous about his health and well-being, and I'm driving. So I just chanted gum, 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 gum while I was driving. And then after a while, I just started to feel more relaxed and more at peace, right? I didn't zone out or anything because obviously I was driving, but I just, the mantra will help me to kind of, stabilize myself, balance myself out. There's nothing worse than driving when you're nervous and feeling panic. That's not a good emotion to have while you're, driving this 1-ton car or vehicle or whatnot. So anyway, gum. Start your session off with gum. The next one is a mantra that was given out by a guru by the name of Bhaskaran Pillai. I've talked about him before. And this is a mantra for anything that has to do with money, wealth, for example, and also income. Anything that has to do with bringing more income into your life. The mantra is called Shreem Brizi. Shreem Brizi. And you can actually find, if you go to YouTube, especially the Pillai Center YouTube channel, you can find out all about Shreem Brizi there, or just to see what testimonies people have about that mantra who are not affiliated with the Pillai Center. There's also a Shreem Brizi TV channel on YouTube, and they actually host live chanting sessions on Friday mornings, 8 a.m. Pacific time. and you can participate in that if you want to, or just listen to it afterwards. And then there are also social media channels associated with Shrem Brzee, but I'll tell you about that towards the end here. Shrem Brzee, so it tracks wealth, money, abundance, a job, anything that has to do with bringing money into your life, okay? So that's another one. Another area of life that people have difficulty with is love and relationships, right? There's so many people out there looking for love, and a good mantra for finding love is Kleem, K-L-E-E-M. And as I go along here, folks, I will put these links in our chat room. It's hard for me to do that and to, talk about this at the same time, but these links will appear. You'll get the opportunity to download a free audio as well. So just hang on tight for those of you who are in our chat room on our Psychic Talk page. So the thing about Kleem, though, is that you really have to have a very clear and about the person or people that you want to attract. Kleem is just like, we talk about the law of attraction. Kleem is like law of attraction. So you really have to be really clear about this. I've known people who can't take into that relationship, but they end up finding the same people as their ex that they didn't want to have that kind of relationship. That's because that was on their mind. And so we had to tell them, be very clear about the kind of person you have and really develop those feelings of, wow, wouldn't it be great to be with this kind of person? What kind of things you would like to do together? You want to just visualize that, the emotional aspect, so that you can attract that. If you're busy thinking about, I don't want to attract that person that I just dated and that didn't work out, then you're going to, and you chant Kleem, you're going to end up bringing more of that person that you don't want, right? Excuse me. So, let me say, Kleem, love, it's also improving relationships. There is somebody that you know and really important in terms of your relationship, whatever that is. You can check that. You can also Kleem if you're in business and you're looking for business partners. You can chant Kleem for that. It's not just about love, it's also about relationships. Just, again, be clear about what kind of business partner you want. Maybe you have so, in terms of clients, you can change customers. Now, that's different from chanting Shrem Brzee for money. If you're talking about just bringing more people, whether they're business partners or customers, you can chant Kleem for that. Now, if you want those customers to bring a little bit more money, then that's where you chant Shrem Brzee, right? Okay. So that's an area that people have to work on. And relationships also, human relationships can be quite challenging. Sometimes it's complex. But chant Kleem so that you have better relationships, understanding. But really have a clear in terms of or intention or the kind of a young man actually was a teenager. He didn't have very many friends. And so he wanted more friends. He was like a high school, right? And so he chanted Kleem, and he became like very popular. He had lots of friends and whatnot. And in fact, his teachers would say, you know what? He's very popular and very well known, but his academics are not doing so well. So then he also had to chant another mantra for that. But Kleem will attract people to you. And that's something that you can, chant that mantra for. For the area of health, a lot of health issues out there of different kinds. Chant the mantra Sadhavana Bhava. I know it's a little bit longer mantra, but Sadhavana Bhava. And remember, I'll give you a free audio that you can listen to and look for offline. That's a great mantra. Dr. Pillai has even broken down each particular syllable and what it does for you, but really it's one of those health mantras. It's also a mantra that some people associate with good luck, being at the right place at the right time for things to happen. And that can also relate to health, having the right doctors, being in the right hospital or center for healing or things of that nature. Now, remember, it's not to be medical advice or things of that nature, but you can chant. Remember, these mantras can work in conjunction with what you're doing. Maybe you need to find a better way to deal with your health, and you can chant the Saravana Bhava for that. Or maybe you need a better doctor, someone who really understands what's happening to you and really cares about you. You can chant Saravana Bhava to find that doctor as well. Right place, right time, right people. And then and for those of you who just want to chant a mantra for enlightenment, to be honest, Om is the best one that you can do. That's the one that connects with God. It also, if you read Thomas Ashley Farron's book, Healing Mantras, that's also a mantra that brings together what is it called? I'm not sure, but the concept is the masculine and feminine energies that all of us carry and brings them together to the third eye. Mm-hmm. Om. Many mantras actually start, some of the longer ones will start with Om, and then, you have another mantra. But Om, you can just chant Om by itself and have an enlightened experience. I've actually done that one time many years ago when I was in graduate school. I was hanging out with some friends, and we decided to do like an Om chant, and it was just wonderful. It was just you just felt so, I can't even explain it. It was peaceful. You also felt taken care of. It was really just an interesting experience. We had so much, and it's fun to do that in a group. That's another thing that you can do is to chant in a group as well. If you got a couple of people where you can chant mantras with, please do it, because as a group, you really can exponentially increase your powers of manifestation, right, when you're trying to manifest something. So, as a quick summary, these mantras are good for removing obstacles. Remember, always start off with Gum. You can do a session of chanting Gum, and then opening up the doors of opportunity or opening up the doors to the divine being second for you. These mantras are great at attracting money, wealth, good relationships, improving your health and luck, as well as enlightenment. And in terms of chanting, like what can you do? Can you chant all of these mantras? Of course you can. Chanting any mantra is always a good thing. It doesn't, regardless of what you're chanting it for. And start with Gum. I would start with chanting Gum 108 times. That would be maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes. It doesn't take a long time, depending on your speed. Think more about the quality of chanting as opposed to how fast you can go. It's not a car race, but you can do it in 5 or 6 minutes. That's easy. You can chant a mantra just about anywhere, right? If you're, let's say you got to get to work or you got something coming up and you got to jump from the bed into the shower. You can chant Gum while you're in the shower, or any mantra actually, but you can definitely chant Gum while you're in the shower, while you're getting dressed, putting on your makeup, if you're putting on makeup, while you're dressing and drying, all that kind of stuff. You can always chant mantras while you're doing things, and that's okay. So start off with Gum first. That clears away the negativity and whatnot. And then you can have a chanting session with the other ones. If it's wealth or job, abundance, money, chant Shreem Brazi. You can chant that 108 times. That might take about 10 minutes or so. You can chant Kleem for better relationships, Saravana Bhava for health, Om for enlightenment. Now, I don't recommend that you chant all of these all in one mantra. There may be some mantras out there that have some of those in it, but typically you don't want to just kind of smash them together and whatnot. It's better to do them separately. And again, except for Saravana Bhava, all of the other mantras are just one syllable. It can be able to chant that in a shorter period of time if you don't have a lot of time. You could also just break it up into your sessions into 2 sessions, like let's say one in the morning and one in the evening. The morning time you can chant 54 times, and the evening time you can chant 54 times. Typically when you're doing a mantra chanting session, you want to have a particular for doing it. Try not to have too many different things. Like sometimes people I need all areas of my life. I need all 10 areas of my life fixed. Well, doing 10 different mantras for all 10 areas is usually not a good idea. It just splits your mind up into too many, different areas. So you want to, try to keep it to 1 or 2 things. We say 3 things. Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. But again, regardless of which mantra you choose, always start off with gum first, and then do a chanting session with gum, and then you can do another chanting session, for money or wealth or things of that nature. Now, so in terms of if you're in our Psychic Talk Radio Facebook group, I've already posted these things, and I'll start posting them in our chat on Psychic Talk's page as well. But there are great resources that you can learn more about mantras. One of the greatest books that I ever picked up on mantra is called Healing Mantras, Using Sound Affirmations for Personal Power, Creativity, and Healing, and that's by Thomas Ashley Farad. There's also the Pillai Center, Pillai, AI at the end. Pillai Center is featured on the major social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest in particular, and YouTube. So you can learn more there. If you're into Shreem Brzee and about what that mantra means, and you want to learn more about, what to do with it, we have a lot of Shreem Brzee, or the Pillai Center has Shreem Brzee channels as well, their own set of channels. And all the focus is on Shreem Brzee. And just look at Shreem Brzee, B-R-Z, official, on Facebook, on Instagram, and even on Pinterest. And I'll provide some of those links there for you guys so that you can, connect with them. But learn about mantras. Mantras really do work, and you just need to have the commitment and the time to chant them. You don't have to be like the great yogis and sit there for days on end and chant something, for 24 hours. It's not. You don't have to do it that way. I know a lot of people think of that when they're chanting mantras. You just sit for hours. No, we live in the real world. We don't have the ability to do that. Some people do dedicate their lives to meditation, and that's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
Most people in the world cannot or are not able to do that. So, chant mantras where you can. If you can't do a full 108 times, break it up. Do it twice a day. Even if that's hard, because sometimes people's, karma is so heavy, then don't worry about that. Chant it as often as you can. Just listen to one of the free audios that I provide, and play it. Sometimes you can't chant. I've had experiences where so much was going on, I couldn't even chant. That's how bad it was. So I would just play the audio. The audios that I'm giving you are Dr. Pillai's voice, and he's a guru. He's a real spiritual guru, and his power to it. So sometimes you can just play the audio, And if you don't believe me about all these mantras and whatnot, or just play the audios, put it on for a good 15, 20 minutes, see what you experience. You can have it on a very low volume. You can have it on a high volume. It's up to you, or somewhere in between, and just play it and see if you don't sense a shift in the room, or shift somewhere, wherever you happen to be. So that's a way to work with those mantras. So there's a mantra for that, or there are mantras for that. We're dealing with those 4 areas of life. So hopefully you guys have learned a little something and are inspired to chant.
Yeah, I had a question. I think you kind of answered it, but just a minute ago, even you were saying about having the time to chant. And what about the overachievers that take all the ones you just suggested and do them all? I keep thinking in my head that I don't think that would be good because and I don't know because I'm not a mantra or chanting expert, but I would think that then you wouldn't have the intention set, that you should do one at a time.
Yeah,
That's my question.
That's what I said earlier, is that you don't want to do all of them all at the same time. I'm just giving out some of the major areas that most people have in their life. And basically, what I would do, if you have a lot of different issues in your life, which many of us do, is to sit down, write them down, write down the list, and look at which one, if you were to focus on that one, would resolve a good majority of them, a majority of the issues that you may have. So, for example, let's say that you have a list of about 10. And let's say, if I had more money, I could resolve a good, either half of these or maybe 8 of them. Then that's what you should focus on. You should focus on a Shreen Brzee, which is wealth, and money and bringing in income. That's how you look at it. Don't just try to chant a mantra for every little thing, every little problem that you have. Chanting any mantra actually will help you regardless of which one you choose. They all in various ways. What you want to do is you want to focus in on what is the area that has the biggest impact on my life, that if I were to choose a mantra to chant it would resolve a lot of problems. And that's how you do that. And then you have your intention for that. Maybe it's relationships.
So
you just have a bunch of bad relationships. And so what you do is you chant the clean mantra. Then your intention is to have an improved relationship. Or maybe you are looking for the love of your life, and that would resolve a lot of problems. It really depends upon your perspective, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's how you go about it.
Well, I would think, it's just prioritizing. And, start with the biggest first, right? Makes, what's going to impact your life the most. It just makes a lot of sense. Oh, and I did want to apologize. I was talking to some people in the chat room and on Facebook Messenger, and some of the audio was breaking up when Rose was talking. I think, and there wasn't much we really could have done with that, so I kind of just let it, roll. But most of what you were saying came through. I think it's
okay.
fine, but I apologize for any of the background noise you might have heard or anything like that. So it looks like we have time maybe to squeeze in a phone call here. We went a little over, but that's okay. We'll squeeze in a phone call, and just wanted to mention, don't forget to tune in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. It's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday, and I'm going to be on both shows. Oh, my God. This is like, I'm going to have
to... But you have the time for it now.
Oh, yeah. It's not the time. It's just like my voice might go out by the time we're done with Sunday. Anyway, I got to have my throat lozenges available, and drink lots of water.
Yeah.
Drink lots of water. Woo! So Mary and I will be on tomorrow with our Psychic Spin episode, and then Sunday, Sharona and I, Tarot Magic. I can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, we will be taking calls, open lines, and tarot mini readings on both of those shows. So if we don't get to your call today, don't worry about it. You can call in tomorrow. Same number, write it down, 714-816-4628. And also remember to write down psychictalk.net/live. You can also do /chat. They go to the same place, but it's psychictalk.net/live. That'll take you to that live show that day with the player, the chat room, the tip jar, our new tip jar. And, almost forgot to mention, actually, if we don't get your call today, we got another show today, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, Spiritual Guidance Radio with Catherine Hahn. So you can actually call in tonight even. It's kind of cool. I wish we were on like 24/7. We'd have to have a lot more hosts. Oh, boy. Okay, so let's see. Who's been waiting the longest? Oh, don't have an area code on this one, so I'm just going to say, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Are you there? They've been waiting a long time.
Hello? Can you hear
Hello,
me?
caller. Yeah, what's
Hello?
your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Melissa, Arizona. How you doing, sir?
Great.
How
What's
you,
going
man?
on?
Hey, Melissa.
So, hi. So interesting what you were saying. I'm going to apply that. Always want to learn. I have a question for you. So, I had my ex-boss, right, because I was temporary leave. He has keep calling me for the past 4 or 5 days now, and I haven't answered the phone because the one who should be calling me, it's the other department, not him. And I'm like really skeptical. I mean, I'm just kind of nervous about it. Well, I'm a little bit uneasy with him, even though I'm trying to think positive because of there's a miscommunication. But I just want to know, do you know what's it about? His name's Dave. What is it about?
I don't know. Let's
Do
take
you
a
have
look
an
here.
idea? Thanks. Because I was getting background check, and one of the higher ups, like in the department that's doing the checking, they called me, and they said that the HR department did some wrong things on my file, and they were going to go check the company out.
Yeah, there's a lot of cards showing up about reevaluation and, issues, things going on behind the scenes. Yeah, there's a lot of different negative things showing up here talking about that particular thing with the application, the background things, your file. I would take the call if it was me. I would take the call because I would want to know, and I would want to fix the problem. Whatever it is. I mean, the way it is now. Yeah, there's virtually. I'm trying to check here. It looks like we do have one major arcana card, but all the other cards are no. So in other words, it's not progressing forward here. So you need to check into that. You need to evaluate what's going on. Some of the cards are talking about persistent, going for, what you're passionate about, and, just having patience and persistence a lot. Eventual victory with the 9 of Wands. It's also a card of determination, which fits right in with that persistence and patience and so forth. But I'm not getting warm fuzzies about, maybe this particular application for this particular job, unless you, how do they say it, Rose? Nip it in the bud. You got to do damage control. Yeah, you need to, call these people up, and, if there's issues, you got to see if you can correct them, if it's false information or if it's not correct, there's errors or things like that.
Yes, sir. And I want to thank you real quickly. It was not on my end. They found it on their end. They did it wrong on they put the input wrong for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I was saying is that you gotta. It doesn't matter whether they made the mistake or you made the mistake. You got to fix it if it's fixable, even which I'm not even so sure about with these cards that are showing up here. But it's definitely worth a try, because it is talking about persistence and determination, and if you're determined enough and persistent enough and call up and say, hey, you guys made a mistake and here's the correct information or what have you, whatever needs to be done. maybe you will be successful with that.
Yes, sir. And real quickly, can you just please tell me why is he calling me? He has nothing to do with my application.
I don't know. There's nothing showing up in these cards. These cards are talking about the particular application and so forth. Even when I redraw the cards, again, I'm getting the same. I'm getting the Nine of Wands yet again. It's showing up here when I ask about this particular person. The Ace of Coins is showing up, which could indicate a new opportunity, possibly, and that might be why he's calling. I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's the only thing that's showing up that could be, what's going on here. Again, the Nine of Wands. You have the skills and abilities. You have the battle wounds to show, for your experience. It's a card of eventual victory, plans coming to fruition, determination, commitment to an issue or belief, and so forth. That's what shows up when we look particularly at him. I would take the call because, the Ace of Pentacles is a great card to show up. So I'm thinking that, hey, there might be another opportunity here. So I would just go for it, especially because right next to it is the Strength card, indicating you need to have the courage and this inner strength to just take the call, or call him back and say, you called me, what's it about, because it could be a positive thing.
Okay,
and
I love what you said, sir, and for the courage. I'm going to do this within an hour. I'm going to do it. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad I called. I help people. It's nice. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you. Till next time. Nice show.
Well,
you're
call
one of your
us
fans.
back and
Thank
let
you.
us know what happened.
Yes.
Bye, Elsa. Here in Arizona. Wow. That was a great, last show for a while. But, everybody keep your, keep your eye on our social media and our websites, because we'll have some information it's going to take several weeks, but we'll let you know what's going on with the show. And we may be changing formats, we may be changing show title, we may be changing a lot of things, we may go to a different day. It's all up in the air right now, and we'd love to hear your input, so get a hold of us, either Rose or myself. You can get a hold of us through Facebook and Twitter, and also through the Tarot Guild site or the PsychicTalk.net site. All of my contact information and links are, right there on my page, dax.thetarotguild.com. And let us know your ideas, thoughts, what direction you think the Doctors Are In should go. Right, Rose?
Yep. We are open to suggestions.
Yeah. And we'll take a look at it and pull some cards, because that's what we do. All righty. So, going to bid farewell to Fridays here, folks. But Catherine will be here now every Friday. She's the new Friday show, Spiritual Guidance Radio. And I'll be back on the air tomorrow and Sunday, but not going to be here on Fridays for a while. And actually probably not at all unless we switch to a different format, because Catherine's taking over Fridays. She had to do that for logistical reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good. Yeah. Change is good, and we're in a year of change, 2021. Well, thanks to all our listeners and callers and the people in the chat room, our new chat room. And thanks to you, Rose, for being here.
Yeah. And thank you so much for everybody coming to ask questions and just talk with us for a show. We know that we're going on break for a bit, and hopefully we'll come back in a different format, maybe a new show. Who knows? Different format, different show. We're open to our options here, and you can contact us when you go to the psychictalk.net website. You guys have a wonderful summer, and we'll be seeing you guys again. Yeah.
Have a wonderful summer, everybody, and all these years on Friday, bidding farewell.
Yeah. Bye, Friday.
I didn't really think about it till just now. We've been on Fridays for years and years. But hey, I really think, of course, we're in a year of change, and all kinds of things have been changing in my life. I don't know about you, Rose, but oh my God. But it's all been for the good. It really has been for the good. I mean, it's opened up time for me, and you become stagnant if you don't have change. And I know, speaking to the other hosts and a lot of our members of the Tarot Guild and listeners and Psychic Talk and everything that I talk to, they're all having a lot of change. And, you can see what, the changes going on with our shows, not just us taking a break, but, Catherine changing the name of her show, moving to Fridays,
right.
which I think is great. I love the new name. I love the new time. We have an evening show now, which, we haven't had for a long time. So, yeah, I think change is good, and I think we're going to, move forward with everything in Psychic Talk and the rest of 2021 into 2022. It's going to be great. So, goodbye for now, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow, and Rose, we'll talk.
Bye, everybody. Have a great summer.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.